Ever wondered what happens when you take an unplanned dive from a cruise ship? You're not alone. With over 373 overboard incidents from 2000 to 2021, it's more common than you might think. Most of these accidental plunges are chalked up to three culprits: suicide, drunkenness, or foul play. So before you think about doing a Jack Sparrow impression, let's consider the odds. When you fall off a cruise ship, it's not just about the splash, but the impact. Let's talk about the calculated risks of such an unexpected dive. Imagine the ship's deck as a high-rise building, because that's exactly what it is. When you're tumbling down from such dizzying heights, the water isn't your friendly neighborhood swimming pool. It's more like concrete. The impact could cause serious injuries, and in some unfortunate cases, it might even knock you unconscious. The danger doesn't stop there. Once you've made your spectacular entrance into the ocean, there's the risk of drowning. The shock of the cold water, the disorientation, it can all be too overwhelming. Even the best of swimmers can find it difficult to keep their heads above water in such circumstances. And if you've had a few cocktails before your fall, well, let's just say it doesn't make the situation any better. Alcohol impairs your judgment and physical coordination, making it harder to swim and stay afloat. So the fall itself might not be a joyride after all. If you survive the fall, the water's chilly embrace is your next opponent. It's like being smacked by a frozen wave, and your body responds in kind. This is the cold shock response, a sudden and often disorienting reaction to a drastic drop in temperature. Your heart rate spikes. You gasp for air, your limbs might even refuse to cooperate. It can be a terrifying experience, especially if you're treading water in the open sea. And then there's hypothermia, the slow creep of cold that numbs your senses and saps your strength. It's a silent adversary, one that's difficult to combat when you're just a speck in the ocean. But don't lose heart just yet. If you find yourself in warmer waters, your chances of survival increase. The water might still be cold, but it's less likely to induce a cold shock response or hasten the onset of hypothermia. So, should you ever find yourself in this chilling predicament, remember to stay calm, conserve your energy, and keep your head above water. Because the sea is not a heated pool, it's more like a giant ice bath. Okay, you've survived the fall and the cold. Now can you float, or will you flounder? This is where your knowledge of basic survival skills kicks in. One of the first things to remember is to stay still and float. Yes, you heard it right. Staying still and floating helps to conserve energy and heat, which are essential for survival in these circumstances. Now let's talk about buoyancy. This is where your clothes and any available flotation device come into play. While it might seem intuitive to shed your clothes when in water, in this case, keeping them on can actually help with buoyancy. Your clothes trap air and can act as an improvised flotation device. Speaking of which, having a real flotation device is a game changer. It can greatly increase your chances of staying afloat and being spotted by rescue crews. But remember, it's not just about floating. It's about floating in a way that increases your chances of being spotted. Floating in calm seas can make you more visible to rescue crews. So if you find yourself in this unlikely and unfortunate situation, remember these tips. They could be the difference between floating and floundering. Staying afloat is your ticket to being spotted by rescue crews. In the end, it all comes down to your will to survive. The human spirit is a remarkable force, and it can be your greatest ally in a situation like this. Maintaining a positive mental attitude and refusing to give up can add precious minutes, hours, even days to your survival time. It's like an unseen life raft, buoying you up when the odds seem stacked against you. Interestingly, women may have a slight edge in this survival game. Thanks to a higher level of subcutaneous body fat, they're a bit more buoyant and can withstand colder water temperatures for longer periods. But no matter who you are, when you're battling the elements, your mindset can make all the difference. It's about harnessing that primal instinct, that deep-rooted determination to keep going. It's about holding on to hope, even when you're floating in the middle of nowhere. Remember, even in the most dire circumstances, the human spirit can prove to be incredibly resilient. So if you ever find yourself in a situation where you've unexpectedly become a castaway, remember that your best life jacket might just be your will to live. So, the next time you're on a cruise, hold on to the railings and your drinks. Remember, the height of the fall, the water temperature, and your will to survive can mean the difference between life and death. Staying still and floating conserves energy and heat, while keeping your clothes on helps with buoyancy. And let's not forget, a positive mental attitude is crucial. Cruises are meant for fun, not for unplanned dives. So, enjoy responsibly, and let's keep safety as our top priority. If you want to stay afloat with more such informative and fun videos, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to our channel.